Good morning to you. Good morning. Oh, what a beautiful day it is. A little cloudy. We got a little rain last night, but it is beautiful. There is a deep, beautiful light blue circle in the cloud ahead. There my neighbor is again sawing. So I'm going to speak up just a little bit louder, not to, don't assume that I'm fussing, because I'm not. I'm just speaking up a little louder. I know you can hear the birds chirping and you can hear his saw. 2 houses down. He's doing some remodeling, have been doing remodeling for a couple of months now. And so anyway, if you look up, if you get an opportunity to look up in the sky right now, if you can do that, there's a beautiful light blue round circle in the sky while the clouds are around that. All that up in the atmosphere, up in the solar system, that there's a reason. If you've noticed that the birds are chirping a little louder nowadays, and it feels good to be alive in spite of all of the situations that we are in, situations where some of us are unemployed now and having a hard time getting in touch with the unemployment office. Some of us are having to work because we're essential employees, so we're being exposed to people in the grocery store and in the hospitals, and as a paramedic or a police officer, just those non-essential persons that are still able to be employed. We have some people who might not have enough food to eat, so we've started in our community giving out food, which is a great thing. There's just so much going on, and it doesn't seem to have a real visible end in the foreseeable future for us to go back to our normal routines. Even myself, as uplifting as I am and as happy as I am, in spite of situations in my life, good or bad, I find my schedule is out of whack and don't know what to do on most days. I'm remotely working from home, and I'm okay with that, but I really do prefer to be away from home to do work, because it's kind of aggravating. It's gotten to be aggravating, but guess what? I'm going to count on my blessings that I'm able to work remotely from home, so I'm not going to be bothered by all of those other complaints. And I'm still holding firmly to my faith, knowing that at some point or another, this too shall end, and I look forward to it ending. So the best thing that we can do is to keep ourselves safe and keep our families safe and continue to pray. You don't have to pray if that's not what you like to do, but I'm a praying person, and just prayer won't hurt you. You might as well pray to the Most High, to the Creator of all of this, this clean air and fresh air we get to breathe without even having to pay for it. So everything is taken care of for us if we just believe that it has been taken care of. And I hope you're hearing me okay this morning. It seems like he's moved a little bit to the front, and I think that's someone blowing their alarm. But in any case, I'm glad you're joining me today. And, my topic is about some things that may apply to some and not to others. And so I'll continue to walk in my purpose, or at least try to walk in my purpose in doing what needs to be done. So the topic today is, you will and can amount to something. You may have been told that you would never amount to anything as a child, but today you have to accept, and you don't have to relive that childhood vocabulary with those words that were thrown at you about yourself, those negative words that were thrown at you about yourself years ago. Now is the time to throw those cruel words and actions in the garbage. You can do it where they belong and where they can no longer haunt you. As you are throwing out the garbage, please know that your parents, your grandparents, your guardians, your aunts and uncles, your stepmamas and daddies had issues too when they were growing up. And the mental and emotional issues that they did not deal with were directed at you unintentionally. Now, I know that some actions were deliberate, but most were unintentional. Furthermore, you have to recognize that they were not given a book of instructions on how to raise you just because they were adults. How to raise you in the preferred way, which would been with plenty of tender, loving care and a peaceful environment. Now, if you think about this, we all have negative emotional challenges from our childhood, some minor and others more severe, but we have to overcome. Some of us can overcome faster than others, but overcoming is the key word here. We must figure out how to overcome. Now that you're an adult, you can clear your mind and heart of hurt from the childhood drama and trauma that ails you, that makes you sick every time you think about it. Understand that you are still alive, and you no longer have to accept the cruel words that were inflicted upon you when you were a child. You don't have to accept those words anymore, those negative words. Some of us know something happened, but we blocked out the emotional coolness and the harshness of the trauma to survive and defend ourselves. Some of us don't even know that we are mentally carrying the hurt, but we need to recognize when similar hurtful situations force us to relive our old and ugly emotions, those negative emotions. There are triggers that cause us to go into defense mode, whether it's appropriate or not. This defense mode that we put up is evidence that we still carry the mental and emotional burdens of childhood trauma. Hope you understand. Some of us don't even know when we are carrying the hurt in our hearts from decades ago. A small portion of our heart is dry, lifeless, and dark. But we have got to figure out how to take care of self and forgive, to fertilize love in the small piece of our heart, to put life back into it, to help it to grow and start doing everything it's supposed to do. I am sure there are many ways to overcome, but I'm going to suggest my best way for you to overcome is that you find a quiet place to sincerely pray and talk to the Most High. You don't have to pray if you don't know how to pray, but talk to Him. Ask Him to intervene in your behalf. Ask Him to cleanse your heart from all the drama and the trauma from childhood and allow you to move forward today on this beautiful, fine, crisp day, crispy and feeling. After you pray, believe and make the decision to let it go and move on. Just let it go. Nothing will disappear on its own. You must make the decision to let it go. You need to believe in the change and focus on the present, the here, the now, and learn how to count more of your blessings. Forgive them, the perpetrator, and forgive yourself, and then get over it. How you talk to yourself from this day forward can either move you to change or keep you stuck in an emotional roller coaster rut. So talk to yourself in the sense that you have the opportunity to change and find a new path in life, one that is good for you. One that's good for you. Not what's good for somebody else, but good for you. When we spend more time thinking of the present rather than our past mistakes and past negative emotional mental distress, we gain control over our thoughts, actions, and reactions. We can then respond more positively to self because we are free from what binds us, what chains us, what rope and holds us back. Just as you show compassion and kindness to others, you need to do it to self. Do it for yourself. Treat yourself as you would treat others with love, compassion, and kindness. And a smile. Smile at yourself in the mirror. Don't spend your time waiting on an apology from the perpetrator or the person or persons who hurt you in your childhood. This will hinder your process of self-care. Give yourself permission to talk about what happened as you grow in self-care. Forget about being embarrassed or ashamed. Keep talking about the pain to whomever will listen in a non-judgmental way, because it's not your fault anyway. So why take on something that's not your fault? Just try to get over it. Do overcome. Now that you no longer expect an apology, you need to forgive, because this is a must to heal, so that you can let go of the shame, the anger, the guilt, the sadness, the tears, or any other negative feelings or emotion you continue to experience because of what happened in your childhood as an adult. Sometimes it's difficult to take care of self. So if you are unable to follow the tips on your own, you need to seek professional help to guide you through this process. Know that you're in a good place because you're alive. You know, we don't get to have an opportunity to do these things if we are dead. And I'm sorry that I'm tickled, but it was a little funny for me what I said. You know, we have an opportunity now. We have an opportunity now to make that change, move forward. The coronavirus has nothing to do. It doesn't hinder you with the change that you can take. You need to love and take care of yourself from this day forward. Forever. 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 And so I know it could be we could get depressed from what's going on in this world now. And the death totals from the coronavirus keep rising and things keep happening, but count your blessing. Feel blessed to be alive, because you are blessed to be alive. And so I want you to keep those calls and texts coming to 850-665-0634. I want you to continue to do better, to love yourself and smile at yourself, and know that change is up to you. Forgive yourself, forgive the others who hurt you or harm you, or put negative words in your spirit about what you are. And I need for you to drop the negative and pick up the positive. Just pick up the positive. Everything negative that was said about you or was told to you or done to you, I need for you to pick up the positives. Change it with a positive word, positive action. Now, if you were violated in somewhere, some way, you can always, in abusive situations, you can always seek help. There are people out there willing to help all the time. 24 hours, 7 days a week. And since everybody's gone Zoom crazy, virtual crazy, and our social media platforms are very, very important in these times where we're asked to stay at home and stay out of the public, you need to try to do just that. Stay home. Be safe if you can. If not, they're suggesting that you wear a mask. If you feel sick, you want to stay at home so that you don't spread anything, just in case you are carrying the virus. And the most interesting thing about this is that you can carry the virus and not have any symptoms, but yet as you're out within the 14 days, you can pass it on to any and everybody who you come in contact with. They're asking you to keep your distance, social distance, as you are out and about in the public, in the Walmart or whatever grocery store or place that your doctor's office or whatever place you have to go to. Just continue to change self and think about the changes that you need to make. And not only that, but you want to also pray for us, pray for the government. Pray that we overcome soon. But know that it is a plan, and it is a plan for us to do better. It is a plan for us to learn a lesson, many lessons. So let's do that. Send your comments to Change Tomorrow Today 365 at gmail.com. And again, I thank you for joining me this morning. Stay safe and well, and pray for one another as we continue living which is a good thing, living. And I bid you farewell until next week. Goodbye.